President Obama is giving Democratic leaders more time to pass his health care plan. He is now postponing his overseas trip, which he had set as the deadline to vote on the bill. Moments ago, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi discussed the timeline.
We stand ready to stay as long as it takes to pass the bill. I think members are eager to pass the bill, and again, it won't be long before we'll be making a real difference in lives of the American people.
Republicans are warning Democrats, though, that a win now on health care could mean a huge loss in November. Are they right? Let's bring in Joe Trippi. He is a former Howard Dean campaign manager and a Fox News contributor. Rick Tyler is a founding director of Renewing American Leadership and a spokesman for Newt Gingrich. Joe, you have heard the warnings from Republican leaders. They're saying if our colleagues in the House vote for this thing from the Democratic side of the aisle, they are going to be annihilated come November. What do you think of that warning, Joe?
I think it's a very tough year for Democrats in November. It's not just about health care. It's about being, having the presidency in both houses with the economy being the way it is. And that's going to have more to do with what happens in November than this health care vote. But I do think the pressure is on. And I think, there are a lot of Democratic members right now that are looking at this bill and not, and it is up for grabs. I'm not sure that there are members that are not, that they can be shaken off the tree and moved into a no vote, and the bill stopped. And I think a lot of the Republican efforts could work in that regard.
Rick, take us behind the scenes. Isn't there more camaraderie really on Capitol Hill than we see publicly? More, no one knows the stresses of running for re-election better than a fellow member of Congress. So a lot of Democrats are closer to Republicans behind the scenes than we see. Might this thing work? Republican advice given to Democrats.
Well, I think this health care bill amounts to the longest suicide note in the world's history. I actually think it's the opposite of what the Republicans are saying. I think if the Democrats succeed in passing this bill, they'll lose 30 to 40 seats. They'll probably maintain the majority in both the House and the Senate. If they do not pass this bill, they will have a cataclysmic election, and they will lose probably upward of 40 or 50 seats, and they'll definitely lose the majority. They'll lose the majority in both the House and the Senate. And the reason is they'll lose their base. If they lose their base, which is the only people that are going to support the Democrats coming this fall unless something different happens, they're going to lose the majority. That's why you see all these maneuverings to get health care passed, because they know Pelosi is putting party over politics, and she's looking at the blue dogs and saying, I need you on this vote. But the blue dogs who live in districts who voted for McCain and for Bush know that they vote for this, they're going to lose their seat, but they might preserve the party. So Nancy Pelosi is asking people to put their politics, party, and power and Pelosi above the people in these districts. So if the Democrats...
Well, Joe, if this health care bill is such a great thing, why are Democrats now talking about packaging it with expanding aid for college students and throwing that all into one thing? Why not just let health care stand or die on its own?
Because they need the votes, and they may be able to get votes by including education. That's not, but to make the case that this is for party over country is crazy. There's no political case for doing this, which the Republicans keep, and the pundits keep playing out. No, it's not. No, that's not true. How is that the case if you're going to lose seats in November if you pass this thing?
They're going to lose them anyway. It's a question of whether they're going to lose enough seats to lose majority or lose enough seats to keep the majority. That's the question.
Well, no, it's not the question. The question is, are we going to do what's right? And Pelosi and the administration believe that this is the right course, putting the entire Democratic Party at risk.
56% of the people don't think so. In fact, in New Jersey, 22% of the people, only 22% supported. The rest of the people are against this bill.
That's why the arguing goes on.
Now you're arguing it backwards. So
the arguing goes on in Washington, just like it is between you two. Joe Trippi, thanks very much. Also, Rick Tyler, thanks.